Hi, I'm Deborah Gray,
And I'm Lawrence Cager.
my son, um, my sleepy son.
Shut up.
Anyway, we are going to talk today about making a self-care kit to go self-care kit for anxiety. And I also wanted to talk a little bit about anxiety and its part in this channel. So
The rebranding.
well, so when I started this channel, um, and it's the same with my website, Wing of Madness. I focused on depression because that's my experience, and I'm not really comfortable. I haven't been really comfortable writing about or talking about anything that's not in my experience because I feel like I should know it personally. But because Lawrence has anxiety, and also because I started realizing that it's a, such a problem for so many people. It seems like it's as much as depression at this point. Then I felt that it was important to address anxiety as much as depression. So we are going to do a self care kit or it's also called like a comfort box and a lot of other things for depression. But I wanted to keep them separate because the depression one is very different in what you put in and basically what its purpose is. You were going to talk about how we chose some of these things.
When thinking about this stuff, we focused on the idea was a lot for people that go to school, because thought about stuff that isn't going to be you're not bringing a whole laptop so you can just sit on it and
or you might be in a school where you're not allowed to have your phone.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it was like college students and elementary students and teenagers.
Okay, you went from schools to age groups.
Well, no, I just wanted to clarify. Stop. I just wanted to clarify that this is really, it's
for anybody.
Yeah, I mean, when you're an adult and you're
You
working
have people
and
at work.
yeah, if you're working in your little cube, you have a little more freedom generally.
Yeah,
but
you
don't
worked
have
in a cubicle for a long time.
Well, I still work in a cubicle.
Well,
Except now I don't. I have half walls instead of full walls, so I have no privacy.
good point.
Anyway, sorry, go
ahead. And another, I guess this is a disclaimer. The stuff we have in this is not what you have to put in it. It's just what we think, what we thought
There's some
of.
ideas.
Yeah. Ideas. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Not required. We're not saying this is a to-go kit. If you put anything else different, you're wrong.
Right, and actually what you need to do is you need to experiment. So you need to experiment and see what helps you. When you're having an anxiety attack or close to an anxiety attack that you want to stave off, you have to find what helps for you. These are just suggestions based on some principles which come down to grounding you with using your senses. So that's one set of principles. Then obviously the other idea is things that calm you. If none of these worked for you, still take away the idea of making a kit for yourself, something that you can keep in your backpack, and have with you when you need it. So, okay.
Yeah.
So on to the items. Now, the other thing is that I just wanted to make a point that all these things should cost very, very little money. You should not have to spend much on this at all. Pretty much almost, or at least half of the things I got from the dollar store. And the others, I made sure that they were pretty low cost. And and several of the things you can make yourself. At least two, maybe three, depends on how crafty you are. So anyway, one of the first things that was really popular, and I told you could shake this up, is a glitter jar. So this is a portable version, obviously.
You shake it and it's glitter.
What you do is there are different ways to do this, but basically for a lot of people, just watching the glitter settle is calming. But then there are other exercises that you can do with watching the glitter settle. That there was one really good article It sounded like it was by a therapist, but anyway, that I'm going to link to in the description. And this was very simply, I got the bottle at Daiso, which is a Japanese dollar store. Well, it's a dollar. It's like a dollar store. It's like a dollar store, except everything in there is Japanese. But basically, I'm sure your local dollar store would have these things. So I got the bottle. It's you put in it either distilled water or water you've boiled, so that stuff doesn't get nasty in there. And then you put in some glitter glue, like this. This is what is this?
6-pack of glitter.
Yeah. Well, anyway, this, I don't remember how much this cost, but you can probably get just one bottle if you want at Michael's or Joann's or Hobby Lobby.
Joann's is god tier when it comes to craft supplies.
Actually, Michael's has more as far as crafts because Joann's has a lot of space with fabric.
Good point.
But anyway, but yes, we like Joann's. The Michael's near us is really far away, so I don't
it's
mean
not near us then.
Right, so it's not near us, but it's in driving. But anyway, you know what I mean. So what you do basically is, and I'll link to a video that talks about this. Basically, you put in the water first, or some water first, because obviously you don't want the glue to stick to the bottom. You put in the glitter glue, and since most of them are jars, and I was using this, I kind of had to estimate. But anyway, so you put it in, and then you can put glitter, extra dry glitter in if you want. I put in blue glitter glue. Then I put in like iridescent glitter. So
iridescent things are cool.
Yeah. So it looks a little cloudy. That's the only thing. I'm not sure why it looks cloudy.
Because it's settling.
No, but it looks cloudy before you shook it.
It's probably the glue part, maybe.
I think it's clear. But anyway, so the other thing you want to do, if you make one for your backpack, is get a little glue gun, and I mean you can probably just use regular glue, but the hot glue will work better, and just hot glue around this just to make sure that none of it leaks into your stuff.
Or you could just duct tape it. Flex tape. Why did our Amazon
Alexa, stop.
Why did our Amazon Echo
because you said FLEX.
I said flex tape.
Okay, well anyway, you yelled it, that's why. Anyway, so what? Oh, I put all this stuff in here, which I didn't need to do. So what I did then is I got this at the dollar store, and I already had fuzzy fabric. I mean, this is one of the things that really...
She does a lot of like knitting, sewing, and crafts and stuff.
Yeah.
So she has fabric.
Well, I made a comfort box for someone for Christmas, and so I bought this fuzzy... It's hard to see, I'm sure, but it's really fuzzy, nice, soft fabric with a little bit of glitter in it. But it costs very little. I mean, I got this at... I think I got it at Joann's. Costs very little if you get like half a yard. You lose your ring again?
No, that's the other one.
You lost the... Okay. Anyway, so and then what I did is I hot glued. You can see in the back, probably, maybe not. I hot glued the fabric on there. So that's just something. I mean, I don't know if this works for everyone, but for me, when I feel something nice and fuzzy, that's very calming. So and then we have these little guys. There's yours that you wanted. And I got these on eBay. I got like 30 of them for a few bucks.
Wait, 30?
Yeah, well, they don't cost much. Remember?
Wait, you got 30? These are... You have 10 times more than them.
Yeah, but they're not all of them are cute. Not all of them are cute.
Show me them.
You can look at them later. Remember when we used to get stuff from Oriental Trading for your... I used to get favors from Oriental Trading Company for your birthday parties.
I don't remember.
I know. Remember those little erasers that were really popular?
Oh my god, the ones that like came in parts, like the ones that were little pandas.
They were,
god,
not just little pandas. Remember, they were like desserts and stuff to eat. And
primary school was lit when those came around. Everybody was like trading theirs.
Yeah, every year I was like, okay, what is the popular thing? Because it changes so quickly to give for party favors. Yes. Anyway, did I give books one year?
I think.
Yeah, when we did your Minecraft party at the climbing gym.
Don't mention that.
Okay, well
that's an event that should be lost.
This was a long time ago. and I made a Minecraft
Sands
cake.
of time.
Okay, which, given my limited cake decorating skills, I thought came out pretty well.
It did. And then last year you made a Homestuck cake.
I did. That was not a lot of effort.
No, but what? To my Homestuck fans out there.
Yes, Homestuck. Anyway, these things.
You need to read it.
I will. I'll read it because I have so much free time.
It's only about 8,000 pages.
I started to. It was like a game, wasn't it?
Well, you started reading.
Listen,
Oh my god!
We're digressing.
Oh god!
We're digressing.
What have I done?
I did because you said I should read it.
Oh right, I forgot.
And then I got confused because it was like a game.
I'll explain it to you later, Mother.
Anyway, so these are very cute. I love the little unicorn, and they're smushy, which is another sensory thing. And it's
look at this lad with
you're
his
gonna screw up
stomach.
the focus. It won't be able. You can't get too close.
Damn.
So cute, very cute, little cat. So anyway,
this cat is a lad.
Look
at this boy.
Look at this boy. So cute.
Look at this lad.
Little unicorn, just so cute.
This lad is amazing.
You can't put it too far; it'll get it out of focus. Anyway, now we have something else that Lawrence. I got these in the thing yesterday. Lawrence
in the mail, yeah.
George's father, my husband George. I mean Lawrence's father George, my husband. Like these two, and Lawrence now has lost a couple of them.
I lost one.
Well, we know one is in the sofa somewhere. It's okay, honey.
It's gone.
Yeah, we'll find it later. Anyway, these are scoot back a little. These are now I forget, acupressure rings. Okay, so that's what they look like. They're really weird looking, and I cannot tell you why. This was one of the things recommended for an anxiety self-care kit. I don't know why, but all I can tell you is we really like them.
So I think the basic concept of them is like, so they're
not too close.
Shush. So they're basically little metal rings which can be stretched. I mean,
well,
if you have fat fingers, they
it's
me.
Supposed to be tight, though.
Hold on. If you have large fingers, they like expand, and if you put them on,
you roll them up and down.
They roll basically.
Yeah, and then it hits.
They go
in acupressure points. You also can use them. I tried this. Now, of course, I can't do it. You have a lot of acupressure points on your hands. It's actually amazing. I was just telling Lawrence yesterday. My sister told me, now I can't do it, of course, that when you have a headache, like you press this. And it does. Like your headache goes away. The only problem is after a while your hand hurts. But still, it helps.
I genuinely have chronic headaches, so this is actually probably a good idea for me.
Well, which could actually be from your anxiety,
Well then!
Ooh, loud. Anyway, so these... I think they come 5. I got these on Amazon.
You got 5 of them for how much?
Like $12.
It's expensive, right?
Well, yeah, but I don't think you can make these. Okay,
that's probably the most expensive thing in the kit, right?
Yeah. I mean, well, maybe the book, but anyway, and the book isn't. Well, the book is not really
part of it.
Yeah. Anyway, so we don't know why these feel really good. Okay, we don't know why, but they feel good. So it's.
I'm actually gonna in the day that I've had them. I'm going to bring one to school because it's actually.
Listen,
warning: do not leave them on the same finger for a long time in the same place because your circulation will.
I looked down and my finger was purple. Okay, so
I mean it's also good fidget toy for ADHD.
Yeah,
because it gives you something to do with your hands.
Yeah. Anyway, so. Acupressure rings, really nice. And again, this is a sensory thing. So, see, look, it already settled.
Gee, you're not doing it well enough. You do
No,
this.
You know what it may have been? It may have been the powder from the iridescent glitter that made it cloudy. I don't think it was cloudy before that. Anyway, but what does it matter?
Whatever.
As soon as you see it clear, you're going to be, futzing with it anyway. So... Okay, and the other thing besides the smushies... Okay, so now this is a... You like lavender?
Sort of.
So this is called I got this on Etsy. There are a ton of people who make these mixtures. You could do this yourself if you wanted to, or you could get lavender is very calming. Some people don't like the smell of it though. Like my husband doesn't. So some people just don't like it. So
you're just gonna keep sniffing at the entire video.
I actually love this smell. Lost my train of thought.
Essential.
Anyway, so this is good. Again, this is your senses, but aromatherapy is really good for calming you down. So this one is called Frazzled, but again, it's just a mixture that someone made. I got on Etsy. It's clary sage, orange, geranium, and lavender essential oils with what's called a fixed oil of coconut oil. I have an extremely sensitive sense of smell, and unfortunately for the bad stuff as well as the good. So I have stuff at my desk. I always have stuff with me just in case there's a bad smell and it really is making me like my stomach upset. So essential oils, very good. You should be able to find them a lot of different places. And then we have, now this I bought again, but you can make it. The only thing that's confusing is I saw different, this is called, it's called Putty.
Thinking Putty.
Thinking Putty, but I think that's a brand name.
But
it may not be a
one disclaimer, make sure it doesn't get everywhere or else.
It doesn't. But what it can do is it can get gunk stuck in it. So you don't want that.
Don't put your head in it or else there's going to be a lot of hair in there.
Don't put your head in it.
No, I mean, like, don't do this and just like smash it into your skull because then you're going to get a lot of hair.
Well, and the other thing, this is like Crazy Aaron's Thinking Putty. This wasn't cheap, but what I do like is the little tins, and this is also something you can get at the dollar store.
How much was it?
It was like $12 for 3 or something.
Don't put it in. It's a waste of time.
I didn't have time to make any, and the other thing was I found different recipes, and like one of them was cornstarch and body lotion. So.
What the Christ?
Okay, well the other ones were like flour and water and stuff. So I don't know. I mean, I think it's something you have to experiment with, and it is kind of mesmerizing a little. But anyway, the tins you can get probably at your dollar store. You can make up a batch of stuff. Obviously, things like flour, cornstarch, body lotion, you probably have in your own house. But this is again something sensory. It's something you can push. And as with a lot of the things that you use when you're having an anxiety attack, is it distracts you for one thing, and it is a little mesmerizing. Anyway, so those are
focus, Mom, focus.
I know. See, but that's what it's for. So there are those, and then I also got this case. To remind myself, I got this at the Japanese dollar store too.
Daiso. Spelled Daiso. Good store.
Because I just wanted to show you can have one that's a little less girly if you don't want one that's girly. Right?
How is that girly?
Well, this one is a little girly.
All right, maybe the writing on the back, but like.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, I mean there are a lot of different things you could use. You can use.
Keep a simple life to let nature take her course. Yeah, that's like it's written in cursive. That you may get called girly or whatever, but nice pack. I like polka dots.
I like polka dots too. Anyway,
only if it's black and white polka dots.
Let's say you didn't want to do the fur thing. You could probably fit most of the things in here. Might be a little tight, but anyway, the reason I also got this is because a couple other things you want to have in your self-care kit are things that are printed out. Okay, so literal instructions for you on how, for instance, do the 3-minute breathing meditation, and there are other exercises you can do to calm yourself down. Because the thing is, if you're getting close to an anxiety attack, it'll help if you have this stuff actually written down. So that's one thing that this is really good for. Keep the papers from getting crappy, and also you could fit in the putty, and
you can pretty much fit in everything.
Pretty much fit in everything as long as you don't want to put the fabric in. So that one's good.
I mean, could you hot glue that in there?
Could I what?
Hot glue.
Oh, you could, but then you wouldn't have enough room for stuff, probably.
Good point. Good
So if you could get one that was a little thicker than this. And then
thick.
This one is better, will probably be better for the depression self-care kit than the anxiety one. But it does have some good mindfulness activities that are good for anxiety. So this is not a bad idea to carry it around with you. Again, it's small, pretty unobtrusive, you know, not something that you're probably going to get in trouble for, you know, taking it out when you're in school.
Wow.
Yeah, well, these are really cute.
They really are.
They are really cute.
But they can probably get dirty for you easily. There's a little gunk
maybe.
on them already.
Yeah, they're a little. Yeah, you can probably rinse them off.
What kind of how would you rinse them off?
Rinse them off with water.
Like just normal water?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I thought they would have a special care procedure.
These are made of chemicals. These things will outlive all of us. Trust me, they will. So,
this absolute lad of a cat is gonna outlive me by like 1,000,000 goddamn years.
Well, it may. Anyway, so those were our ideas. Again, this is something to experiment with. Find some ideas of your own.
Yeah, we ain't entirely like our ideas aren't gonna be like completely helpful to you. They aren't gonna be like that's the wrong way to put it.
Yeah.
They aren't gonna totally just definitely be the exact things you need.
Right.
That's the way to put it.
Yeah, the chances of this being your perfect self-care to-go kit are
unlikely.
Yeah. But so but I'm putting a lot of information in the description because, again, this not only because it's pretty individualized, what's going to work for you, so you need a lot of different ideas, but also because the more information, the better. So, I know it's hard to keep your hands off them. Anyway, so that's all for now on this topic, I think. And that kind of wraps up our mini little series on self-care and mindfulness. We'll obviously be doing more later, but I think probably next week we're going to be doing a video on either one or the other, how to find a good psychiatrist or how to find a good therapist if you're a teen or a kid, because it's harder than when you're adult, because you also have to get your parents to be on board and to listen to your opinion. Anyway, if you like this video and you thought it was helpful, please give it a like, and please comment on any ideas that you have about things that you would put in your self-care to-go kit, and subscribe if you want to see more videos on depression and anxiety, especially for teens. And so thanks for watching.
Subscribe. Hit that MF like.
So I wanted to talk also a little bit more about what people are peddling as far as self-care on Instagram and YouTube. When I went to look for some more information about what to put in an anxiety self-care kit, I found so many different articles that were basically one line. You know, they'd say 10 things you can put in your self-care kit for anxiety. They'd have like just write one line, and then it would be a link to a product on Amazon, which they're getting paid for. I have no problem with people getting paid for affiliate links. What bothered me is that most of these hadn't put any thought into this, and some of the items were absolutely ridiculous. Like, one was a mug with an affirmation on it. I mean, that's just like, to me,
stupid.
Yeah, I mean, that's just scraping the bottom of the barrel. How much thought has been put into that?
Literally none. They just want to sell products so they can get some money.
Yeah, I mean, there were some other people who had done well thought out articles with good information, and it sounded like they actually really understood understood anxiety, and they had affiliate links. That's totally different. But also, it's just like this whole self-care thing on Instagram where it's hashtag self-care face mask, or, you know, $30 lip gloss because you deserve it. That's self-care. As we talked about before,
Just
well,
stupid.
that's indulgence. There's nothing wrong with indulgence, but chances are it won't do anything for you if you're having an anxiety attack.